Ever imagined paying your boss back in pennies on his birthday? I never thought a single bet would change my life. My boss, Mr. Carter, was the kind of man who wore custom suits to the company barbecue and called his employees assets to their faces. The first day I met him, he glanced at my thrift store shoes and said, "Ambition is wasted on people who can't afford it." I laughed politely, but inside, I promised myself I'd prove him wrong. I just didn't know how yet. I started at Carter and Company as a junior marketing assistant, which was a fancy way of saying coffee fetcher. My degree was from a state school, my resume was unimpressive, and my confidence was paper thin. Carter loved to remind me of all three. He'd call me into his glass-walled office, always when the floor was busiest, and ask, "Remind me, what exactly do you do here?" Every time, I'd stammer through an answer while my coworkers pretended not to listen. The turning point came during the holiday party my second year. Carter was in rare form, boasting about his latest deal and how he'd built this company from nothing. After a few drinks, he turned to me, smirking. "You know, you remind me of myself when I was young, except you don't have the guts to take risks. I bet you $1,000 you'll still be fetching coffee in 5 years." The whole room laughed. I forced a smile, but inside, something snapped. "You're on," I said. "5 years from today, let's see who's fetching coffee." I spent the next year working harder than ever. I took night classes in digital marketing, built a network on LinkedIn, and started freelancing for small businesses on weekends. Carter barely noticed. He was too busy expanding the company, opening new branches, and bragging about his vision. But I noticed things he didn't. Employees were burned out, clients were unhappy, and the company's social media was a ghost town. By year 3, I'd saved enough to launch my own boutique marketing agency. I quit Carter and Company with a polite email and no fanfare. Carter didn't even bother to reply. My agency started small, just me, a laptop, and a rented desk in a co-working space. But I had something Carter didn't. I listened. I built real relationships with clients, helped local businesses grow, and hired people who'd been overlooked elsewhere. Meanwhile, Carter and Company was struggling. Their flashy campaigns weren't converting, and word got around that Carter was impossible to work with. I quietly picked up a few of their former clients, always careful not to gloat. My agency grew, slowly at first, then exponentially. By the 4th year, we had a dozen employees and a waiting list of clients. That's when I heard Carter and Company was up for sale. Carter had overextended himself, and the investors wanted out. I saw my chance. Through a series of shell companies, I bought up a controlling stake, never revealing my identity. When the final papers were signed, I scheduled the official transfer of ownership for July 14th, Carter's birthday. The morning of the handover, Carter strutted into the office, oblivious. I was waiting in his chair, a check for $1,000 in pennies stacked on the desk. He stopped short, staring at me. "What is this? Some kind of joke?" he snapped. "No joke," I replied. 5 years ago, you bet I'd never amount to anything. Today, I own Carter and Company, and here's your $1,000 paid in full. He stared at the mountain of pennies, face red. "You planned this?" he sputtered. "Every detail," I said, echoing the words he'd once used to belittle me. Some people see opportunity where others see obstacles. Know which one you are. Security arrived to escort him out. As he gathered his things, I noticed he'd left his custom suit jacket behind. "Forget something?" I asked. He glared, but said nothing. That afternoon, I called an all-hands meeting. I announced immediate raises for the lowest-paid staff, launched a profit-sharing program, and converted Carter's corner office into a creative lounge for the team. The energy in the office shifted overnight. Some say revenge is best served cold. I disagree. Sometimes it's best served in pennies, on your old boss's birthday with everyone watching. Carter now works as a consultant for small businesses. I hear he's learned to listen.